Xpeng Xiaopeng, they've just recorded their Q3 earnings and their stock price has gone down by 10%, which to me doesn't make sense, but there is a reason why this has happened. I think the earnings numbers are shockingly good, but here are the full details on Xpeng and the full numbers that you need to know. YouTube's new algorithm means that you're often not getting all of our videos in your feed. Pretty sure you're probably not seeing a lot of them. In the description, there is a link to our newsletter. Click on that and you can get an update every day of all the latest news in the electric car industry. Hello, my friends. Welcome to the channel. I'm Sam Evans. You're watching the Electric Viking. For me, the biggest news here is Xpeng is planning to pivot into robotics more so than cars, which makes complete sense. It's basically following Tesla's lead to some degree, but it might be ahead of Tesla when it comes to its actual robotics division. Today's story is actually really big. Xpeng, one of China's most aggressive EV makers, has just reported its Q3 earnings. The numbers are pretty staggering. The company is not only closing in on profitability, it's planning to sell 1 million humanoid robots per year in 2030. Yep, 1 million robots annually. Let's go through the numbers, the strategy, and what this means for Xpeng, Tesla, and the entire global automotive industry. Q3 2025, Xpeng delivered 116,000 vehicles, a new quarterly record. In fact, its sales in October alone were up 76% year over year. They've delivered 355,000 vehicles this year in the first 10 months. And already hit their full year target of 350,000. In fact, they've gone above their full year target 2 months early. That means their sales are up this year by well over 100% versus last year. They're actually the fastest growing car company in the world right now. Revenue surged to $2.9 billion US, doubling from the same period last year. But probably more importantly, Xpeng's net loss shrunk by 79%, shrinking from $248 million US last year to just 53 million this quarter. That puts the company within very close striking distance of breaking even, something analysts now expect to happen in Q4. However, really interestingly, Xpeng's profit margins have increased. In fact, they've crossed the 20% gross margin range. This quarter, Xpeng crossed what is considered, in my opinion, to be a major milestone. Their gross margin, 20.1% for the first time ever, and that's up from 17% in Q2 and 15% last year. Their vehicle margin, as in the profit made on each car, hit 13.1%. Why? Well, one of the reasons, lower battery costs, platform consolidation, new manufacturing efficiencies, higher sales of their premium models, and really, Xpeng is doing what many legacy Western automakers have failed to do, which is scale up EV margins while increasing production volumes. You might think to yourself, well, Ford and General Motors, they're selling a lot more cars than Xpeng, but I reckon if you actually ask the CEOs of Ford and General Motors if they'd prefer to be Xpeng right now, they might actually agree to that. Good chance they would. Q4 outlook, it's even bigger. Q4 should be a better quarter for Xpeng. For one, they do have a new vehicle coming, which is their affordable SUV, their SUV version of the Mona. It should be priced at probably around 19,000 US. And I saw this myself when I was in China. Deliveries, 125,000 to 132,000 is expected in this quarter. Revenue, 3 to 3.2 billion US, which would be up 34 to 43% year over year. At this rate, Xpeng is on track to challenge Li Auto and leapfrog NIO entirely in 2026. And yet, the stock dropped after earnings. We'll get to that in a second. Why is Xpeng winning? Well, ADAS and their product mix. Xpeng says its dominance this year has been driven by two factors. Its advanced autonomous driving technology. Their XNGP system is widely considered the closest non-Tesla equivalent to Tesla's full self-driving in China. Xpeng now has city-level intelligent driving operating in over 200 cities. with plans to expand all over China. 2, strong product lineup. The G6, the G9, the P7, the P7 Plus, and the M03 sedan are performing extremely well, especially considering their rivals. The G6 in particular has been a home run for Xpeng, their Model Y competitor. Xpeng is executing a strategy Tesla used 10 years ago. Strong mid-size SUV plus strong premium sedan, the P7, equals volume dominance. And I mean, I think that volume is probably going to only grow over the next few months. Xpeng CEO, they want to be the Chinese Tesla. So he made some bold statements. He said Xpeng is evolving into a global embodied AI company. Their stock went up a lot after that news, that AI day. This means Xpeng doesn't want to just build cars. They want to move into robotaxis, flying vehicles, humanoid robots, and AI-powered mobility, essentially what Tesla is doing. Earlier this month, Xpeng unveiled its humanoid robot Iron, which went viral after walking a fashion runway and mimicking a human model's movements to the point where I saw this live and I thought it was a human. I actually said to someone next to me, I said, that is a person. That's not a robot, that's a person, but it was a robot. So I was wrong. The robot will enter mass production by the end of 2026, say Xpeng. So 1 million robots per year. This is Xpeng's craziest goal yet. The CEO announced that along with 1 million humanoid robots being sold per year, that the robot market will be way bigger than the car market. And it will. The human labor market is worth 30 times more than the automotive industry. 30 times. Manufacturing robot hardware will eventually cost roughly the same as cars, said the CEO of Xpeng. Xpeng will price robots similarly to vehicles. Robots will become household appliances, and obviously they'll take our jobs as well. And maybe do our jobs for us. I'm not sure. We'll see. It's kind of scary. This matches Elon Musk's claim that Tesla will build 1 million Optimus robots in 2026. Now, Tesla's obviously saying they're going to do 1 million in 2026, but I don't think anyone believes that. But Tesla say they'll build a factory capable of making 10 million robots per year at some point later in the future. So what does this mean? Well, we now have both Tesla and Xpeng racing towards a mass market humanoid robot future. I think they're the two car companies that are most set on this future, which does make sense because the car space is a race to the bottom when it comes to pricing. Flying cars and robotaxis. So Xpeng isn't stopping at robots. They are also heavily investing in flying vehicles, which I personally think is actually a mistake. But anyway, the company demonstrated a flying car prototype and China's aviation authorities have already approved testing. They're also working on robotaxi fleets. Xpeng will launch 3 robotaxi models in 2026, specifically designed for autonomous ride-hailing, low-maintenance mobility, and fleet-level cost optimization. This aligns with China's national 5-year plan, which prioritizes AI, autonomous driving, robotics, technology independence, and Xpeng is becoming one of Beijing's strategically supported AI mobility champions. Does that mean that Xpeng will have robotaxis on the road next year in 2026? In my opinion, no, I don't think so. I think they're going to need a couple more years for that to happen. So why did the stock drop? Well, quickly in 45 seconds, Xpeng's Hong Kong stock jumped 84% this year. Actually, if you look at their lows this year, it's jumped close to 100%. The US listed shares climbed by 90%. After these earnings were released, shares fell about 10%. Why? Well, because the market expected Xpeng to announce profitability in Q3, not just get close. Now, this might have been the market getting excited ahead of itself, but this is what people wanted. Also, tariffs from the US are, there's a bit of uncertainty. So I don't know how that affects Xpeng. I don't think it does, but for some reason, the media have been talking about this. The Chinese EV price war is intense. Maybe that's a fact. I don't know. Xpeng is spending heavily on R&D robots and autonomous driving. I think that's a positive, but short-term traders want profits. Xpeng is playing a long game here. So my final thoughts here. Well, record deliveries, record revenue, record gross margin, a 79% reduction in losses, new product lines in robots, flying cars, and robotaxis, one of the strongest ADAS systems in China, explosive growth, 355,000 vehicles delivered so far year to date. This was clearly by a wide margin the best quarter in Xpeng's history. So, I mean, in addition, they're closer than ever to profitability, closer than ever to becoming something much bigger than a car company as well. I mean, Xpeng now sees itself as a global embodied AI company, a competitor not just to Tesla, but to Tesla's future. Whether they can reach that level depends on a few things. Of course, they have to actually execute. Continued sales momentum are needed for, being able to stay afloat. Robotics development, autonomous driving rollout, their ability to take market share in China and overseas, that matters as well. But right now, Xpeng is one of the most exciting companies in the global EV industry, period. I think it's impossible to say otherwise. What do you guys think? Let me know what your thoughts are on this. I think it's actually positive news. Obviously, the stock has gone down, but I think over the probably next 6 months, it'll bounce back up pretty sharply. Thanks for watching.